Welcome back. Today's topic is make or buy decisions. Now we'll see what is this make or buy decision. First, let's see the meaning of this make or buy decision. The make or buy decision refers to the problem encountered by an organization when deciding whether a product or service should be purchased from outside sources or manufactured internally. What does it mean? It means that the decision have to be taken by the management, okay? Whether any kind of product, whatever they try to purchase, whether they want to produce in the market, it have to be purchased from outside, or it will be better for them to manufacture it internally, where they have to see all the cost, okay, whether by purchasing from outside, if they are purchasing those products from outside, it will be good for them, or whether uh, if they are manufacturing it internally, it will be better for them. So this decision have to be taken under the make or buy decision. Make means the manufacturer will be making the product internally inside the company, and buy decision means when they are trying to purchase it from outside sources. So they have to keep in mind which particular, whether by making the product in the organization it is profitable, or by buying the product from outside it is more profitable. They have to check those things, and then only they will take a decision. This is known as make or buy decision. Now, under this make or buy decision, mostly it is based on the prices of a product, because we deal with the cost, right? So, based on the price of the product only, they will take this decision. If the price of any kind of product, if they are purchasing from outside, it is more costly, then they will try to utilize those products, those raw materials, which is already available in their organization, and they will try to make those products inside the organization only, right? So it, for that reason only, the make or buy decision, it is mainly based on the prices. It depends on the prices, whether by buying, whether if they purchase from outside it will be more profitable for them, they will cost less, or else whether they are, when they are manufacturing it internally, it is costing them less. Okay, it depends on the price of a particular products, or whatever products they are trying to purchase, they are trying to produce. And this plays a very important role. What is this? That means it is the price and the cost of a particular product. Now, whenever this make or buy decision is taken, it is not only taken on the basis of uh, certain cost or prices, it is also for a long term investment purpose. Okay, it is for a long term investment purpose. They will see whether the quality of the product is good or not, whether the resources are available or not, so whether new ideas can be put up in the decision or not. All these kind of decisions will be taken under the make or buy decision. Now, most have the make or buy decisions are complex, time consuming, and affect many parts of the organization. Now, when they are taking this kind of decision, whether to make internally or buy from outside, this decision is very, very crucial for the management. It is very, very time consuming. It takes lots and lots of time to decide which part will be better, and they take into account various factors for taking these decisions. Okay, so if because of this decision, the decision becomes very, very complex, and it is very time consuming, and it might affect some parts of the organization, like production department, like the sales department, finance department. They all will have to take together this decision, and that it will affect, okay, the production process might be stopped sometimes, maybe it have certain kind of losses. Okay, so time consuming, it has very much time consuming. For that reason, make or buy decisions uh, make or buy decisions will be taken by the organization, obviously, but it have certain disadvantages also, like it is time consuming, it is complex, and it leads to stoppage of the production as well. Okay, now make or buy decisions, which in under which conditions, under which situations this decision have to be taken. Okay, every time a make or buy decision cannot be taken, because it is very much time consuming, right? There will be certain situations when these decisions have to be taken. So when these decisions can be taken, the first is When the organization introduces new product, yes, new product where you don't have any kind of sales before you have produced that product. Okay, new products, when the in the company you are trying to produce new product to sell in the market, then make or buy decision have to be taken whether to make it inside the organization it will be profitable, or by buying the materials from outside will be more profitable. So when the organization introduce new product, that is your first situation in which this decision can be taken. Next is the fluctuating demand for company's product. Now, what is demand? Demand means whatever the products you are selling, whether the customers are buying it or not, whether the customers are demanding those products or not. Okay, it keeps, if the demand is very much fluctuating, in some month the products was demanded very high, and the demand in the later months the demand for the products were very much less. So it is fluctuating. If there is any kind of fluctuation in the company's product, then this make or buy decision will be helpful. Next is when the organization carries out value analysis or cost reduction programs. Now, value analysis and cost reduction programs will be utilized only when the company is not earning much profit. If the company is uh, continuously suffering losses year after year, then they have to analyze it, right? They have to check it, what is the reason that the company is not earning much profit, or why the company is going at a loss for so many years, right? So for that one, they will try to analyze it, what is the reason behind that, and they will try to reduce certain cost. Okay, when they are purchasing certain kind of products, the cost have to be reduced. So these programs, when it is carried out, when the company is not performing well, then this in this situation the make or buy decision will take place. Okay. Next is deteriorating quality and delivery commitment of the supplier if presently the item is bought. Now, deteriorating quality means if the quality of the product, if suppose it has been purchased from the outside sources, then if the quality whatever they are getting, if it is not good enough, and the delivery commitment means suppose the supply from supplier you are buying those products, and if they are not delivering you on time and at what time you are requiring those materials, if it is not uh, presented to you at that very time, then it will be a problem for the manufacturers, right? So if the quality is not good, then also this decision can be taken whether to make or buy. And if the delivery commitment is not made by the suppliers, that on time they are not delivering you the products, then also this make or buy decision can take place. Okay. Next is the scarcity of funds for investment in additional plant and equipment. So this scarcity of funds goes with this value analysis and cost reduction programs. If the company is not earning much profit, then the company cannot invest in buying any kind of extra equipment or extra buildings or any kind of materials if it is required, right? There will be a scarcity of funds if the company is not earning profit. So if the company is not having much profit, then it will be difficult for them to go further with the business, right? So in that case also make or buy decision will be useful. So these are the situations, and these situations are very very important for you to know. So these situations have to keep in mind for taking this kind of decision, that is to make or buy the products. Okay. So next we will go for numerical questions based on your maintaining the desired level of profits, as well as certain marginal costing techniques questions. Okay, the first questions I have put up is, from the following particulars calculate break even point in terms of sales value and in terms of units. And next is number of units that must be sold to earn a profit of rupees 90,000. Now, the question is saying what? Break even point in terms of sales value. That means you have to find out the BEP in terms of rupees and in terms of units. Two questions. Okay, in one part only two questions is given. That is in rupees value you have to find out, and in units also you have to find out. Next is number of units. Now number of units have to find out if the desired profit have to be 90,000. Okay, the question you have to understand it very carefully so that you can put up the proper formulas for this. Okay, now we'll see the answer for this. These are the particulars given to you. These are the fixed factory overheads, fixed selling overheads. This is the question. Okay, these are the particulars. Now we'll see the answer for this. The first question is break even point. Now break even point, two parts, sales value and in units, right? Now we'll first see in units. After that we will go for rupees. Okay, now what is the formula of break even point? Break even point is equal to fixed cost divided by selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. Now when you see this selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit, this is your contribution per unit. Okay, selling price minus variable cost is contribution, right? So we have written here selling price per unit minus minus variable cost per unit. That means this is known as your contribution per unit. Now to find out the variable cost per unit, here variable cost per unit is 12 plus 3. Why 2 times it is coming? Because in the question, in the particulars, it is given variable manufacturing cost per unit and variable selling cost per unit. There are two units which are variable, right? One is manufacturing and one is selling. So for manufacturing it is 12 and for selling it is 3. So we add up this together. 12 plus 3 is equal to 15. Now next is total fixed cost. Total fixed cost, two items we are seeing here fixed, right? One is fixed factory overhead cost and one is fixed selling overhead cost. So if they have separated it, you have to make it together, right? You have to add it. That is 60,000 plus 12,000. So 60,000 plus 12,000 is you are getting 72,000. Now, for putting up in the formula fixed cost, we got it. That is 72,000. Selling price per unit. Now, selling price per unit, only one is given here. Selling price per unit is 24, right? Variable was 2. Fixed was 2, right? But selling price was only 1. So, we will put up selling price per unit as 24 minus variable cost together. How much it is? 12 plus 3, 15. Here we calculated it already. Okay. So, 15. So, we'll put up in the formula now. Fixed cost was 72,000 here. By totaling the fixed cost, divided by 24 minus 15. What after calculating this, you are getting 8,000 units. Okay, now this formula was used for finding the BEP in units. Okay, now you will find out in values, or that is sales value, or in rupees. Now how we can find out in rupees? In BEP units, whatever you get in BEP units, you multiply it with selling price per unit. What was the selling price? 24 rupees, right? So 8,000 units into rupees 24 per unit, that is rupees 1,92,000 is BEP in sales value, or else in rupees value. So this form you have to be very careful with this. 8,000, if it is asking in units, then write it units. The answer should be in units. If they are asking in sales value, the answer should be in rupees. Okay. Now this is the break even point. The first part we have done. Next is number of units that must be sold to earn a profit of 90,000 rupees. Now how many units have to be sold to get the profit of 90,000 rupees? How we will put up this formula? So for this, the formula is fixed cost plus profit divided by selling price per unit minus fixed cost per unit. You can write like this, or else you can write contribution per unit. Okay. Now fixed cost, we have already calculated, that is 72,000 plus profit. Now where is the profit? Profit is in the question itself. Okay. That is sold to earn a profit of rupees 90,000 here. You will not get the profit from here, from this particulars. Okay, the question, in the question only the profit will be given to show the maintained level of desired profit. Okay, here it is a profit value, that is 90,000. So fixed cost plus profit. Fixed cost is 72,000 plus profit is 90,000 divided by selling price per unit. Selling price per unit is 24 minus variable cost is 15, that is variable cost per unit 15, that is 12 plus 3 is 15, right? So when you calculate this, you are getting the unit as 18,000 units. Now what is this 18,000 units? That means you have to sell, or the company have to sell 18,000 units to get a profit of 90,000 rupees. Okay, in units value, whatever we have found out, unit, this number of units, 18,000 units have to be sold to get a profit of rupees 90,000. Okay, so this is one question. Next question is, from the following data, you are required to calculate PV ratio, break-even sales. With the help of PV ratio, sales required to earn a profit of rupees 4,50,000, right? Now, these are the information given to you. Now, first is PV ratio. We know what is PV ratio formula. That is contribution divided by sales into 100, right? Break-even sales with the help of PV ratio, they are saying. That means in which formula you use PV ratio to find out break-even point. We use it in case of finding BEP in rupees, not in units, right? Next is sales required. How much sales will be required for you to get a profit of rupees 4,50,000? Okay, now we'll see the answer for this. Now here you can see these are all the items given to you. Fixed expenses is given rupees 90,000. Variable cost per unit. So under this variable cost per unit, there are three items: direct material, direct labor, direct overheads. Okay, so they have clubbed it together. We have to add up together this variable cost per unit, right? So we'll first find out the per unit value of all this, and then we will calculate all these questions. Okay. Now selling price per unit is given as what? 12. Yes, here 12 we have, less variable cost per unit. Selling price minus variable cost per unit gives you what? Contribution per unit, right? So same thing we are putting here. Selling price is 12. Variable cost per unit. Material 5, labor 2, and direct overhead 100% of direct labor, they are saying. 100% of direct labor means whatever is the value of direct labor is the value of direct overheads, right? So direct labor is 2, that's why the direct overhead is also 2, 100%. Whatever is the value of direct labor, 100% has been taken for direct overhead. So when you add up all these are all the variable costs, right? So the variable cost total will be written outside, and it is 9 rupees. Now from this selling price minus the variable cost, you get 3 rupees. And now this 3 rupees per unit is your contribution. Okay. 12 minus 9 is 3. This is your contribution per unit. Now we got the value of contribution per unit, right? Once we have got this value, we can easily calculate all these questions. Now that is PV ratio, that is break-even sales, and sales required. Sales required or desired profit. Okay. Now PV ratio, what is the formula for PV ratio? Contribution divided by sales into 100. Now what is the contribution we got just now? 3. 3 divided by sales. Sales means the selling price per unit. Okay, 12. 12 into 100, that is 25%. So PV ratio will be always denoted with percentage. Okay. Next is break-even sales. Now break-even sales with the help of PV ratio, they are saying. With the help of PV ratio, if it is said, that means you have to calculate break-even point in rupees, not in units. Okay. Now break-even sales is fixed expenses divided by PV ratio. Now fixed expenses is how much in the question? 90,000 rupees, right? So 90,000 divided by PV ratio. What was the PV ratio percentage? 25%, right? So we'll writing here 25 divided by 100. But when you calculate it, it will become what? 90,000 into 100 divided by 25. Once you calculate, the value is rupees 3,60,000. Okay. But if it is in the question, if it is given break even in units, then you have to use the other formula for calculating in units. Okay. Next is sales required to earn a profit of rupees 4,50,000. Now you have to earn this much profit. If you have to earn this much profit, what is the sales amount you need? They are not asking about units. They are asking about sales, rupees value they are asking now. They are not asking the number of units. They are asking rupees. So in case of rupees, how to find out? Fixed expenses plus desired profit. Now fixed expenses, we have 90,000 plus desired profit is how much? It will be given in the question only. Okay. That is 4,50,000. Desired profit is 4,50,000 divided by PV ratio. Now what is PV ratio? 25%. So when you calculate this, again change it, 100 divided by 25, we are getting 21,60,000. That means you have to sell the products for costing rupees 21,60,000 to get a profit of 4,50,000. Okay, we are not talking about number of units, how much you will sell to get the profit of this much. We are seeing in rupees how much your sales rupees have to be in order to get a profit of 4 lakh. So this is the question and this is the answers for this. You have to check out the question very carefully, put up everything in proper format, then only you can calculate all these questions. So this is the second question. And the next, from the following information, calculate contribution, PV ratio, sales to earn a profit of 2,40,000. Now you have to find out the contribution from here, PV ratio, and again sales value. Now sales value should be always in rupees. Okay, if it is asked number of units, then you have to find out number of units. Now it is given here sales, that means you have to find out in rupees value. Okay, now sales, don't go with this. Okay, sales is different here. Sales value is given, that does not mean it is sales. Okay, if you have to earn this much profit, if you have to earn 2,40,000 profit, what should be the sale? Okay, this is the question here. Sales to earn profit of rupees 2,40,000. Don't go with this value of sales. Okay, now contribution, you can easily find out sales minus variable cost, right? Sales minus variable cost gives you contribution, yes or no? So you can calculate and get the answer. PV ratio is contribution divided by sales. After you find out contribution, then divide it with sales, then you will get PV ratio. Next, sales to earn profit of rupees 2,40,000. What you'll do, fixed expenses plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. Now you have to calculate PV ratio. Once you calculate PV ratio, fixed cost is 3,60,000 plus the profit is 2,40,000 divided by the PV ratio. What kind of value you get for PV ratio? You can calculate it easily. So this is the question. Hopefully you practice this question.